All right, the second way that we're going to take a look at is what's called the FOIL method. And FOIL is an acronym, you might notice by the dots, for first, outside, inside, and last. Now, FOIL works best on two binomials, which is why I'm showing it to you on binomials, but you can really kind of use the same process for any two polynomials. We kind of used the process already when we did a previous example here. Something here, we kind of take the a and we multiply it into the brackets. We're going to use that same process, but now we're just dealing with more terms on each side. So I'm going to set up the question here. So it's a minus 2 and a minus 3. Okay, and we're going to use FOIL to solve this here. Now, FOIL, again, stands for first, outside, inside, last. And so that's how we multiply these two together. So we start off with, now you notice, okay, both of the terms, or sorry, both the polynomials have two terms. So both will have a first term, both have an outside term, both have an inside term, and both have a last term. And that's how we kind of go through and make sure that we multiply together. So we take our first terms, okay, so this is first, and we're going to multiply these together. So the F stands for a times a, which is the same as a squared, okay? So that's first. Then we go to outside. Now this is the outside one, this is the outside one. So we go on the outsides, okay, and multiply together. So the O is going to represent a times negative 3. Okay, because it's a and it's a negative 3. Remember, that's a term. The negative is part of the term. And so this is going to be negative 3a. That's going to be our second one there. That's the O. Then we take a look at the inside. So inside is the two that are kind of right beside each other here. Now you notice, okay, the a went to the a and to the negative 3, and now the negative 2 is going to go to the a and the negative 3, and we're going to do that as well. That's kind of part of the FOIL. Okay, now again, if we have more terms, then we have to take a look at more multiplying as well. But we have the negative 2 times the a there, and that's going to be negative 2a. And finally, we have last. So the 2 is the last, and the negative 2 is the last, and negative 3 is the last one in each. So our L is going to be negative 2 times negative 3, which two negatives gives us a positive. 2 times 3 is 6. So this gives us 4 terms, kind of like we did up in the previous example if you go back to that video, or maybe you're kind of going through in your notes, which is really good. And so then what we'll do here is we'll take these 4 terms and we're going to put them into one kind of string here. So we have a squared minus 3a minus 2a plus 6. So those are our 4 terms that we have there. Now, what we do with these 4 terms is we did the expanding part. Now again, remember, this is the expanding. Okay, and I'm just going to put that there. This is the expand part. Now we need to do simplify. Now again, we won't always have to simplify. It depends on if we have any like terms. But here you might notice we have 2 like terms right there. These both have an a in them. Okay, and in fact they're both negatives, so we're going to have 3 negatives and 2 negatives, or negative 3 minus 2. Okay, now again, there's a few different ways that you can do this. Okay, you can do negative 3 plus negative 2, which should be negative 5, or you can do negative 3 minus 2, which again is kind of what we see here, which is negative 5. Or you can kind of think of it as there being 2 sets of negatives. There's 3 negatives here, 2 negatives there. We put them together, we have 5 negatives. So then what we do is our final answer is minus 5a plus, that should be a 6. I'm not sure where the 3 came from. Okay, and so this will be our simplified polynomial. Okay, simplified as it has no like terms that we can put together, and it has everything there that we multiply together. Now, the order of a polynomial doesn't really matter. These 3 terms here, a squared, negative 5a, and positive 6, can be in any order. If you really want to write it as, let's say, negative 5a plus 6 plus a squared, that works as well. Because all the 3 terms are exactly the same. Okay, they all 3 match up. I like doing it in the squared the non-squared, and then the constant. That's the order I like doing it in, but it doesn't really matter. You can kind of do it in whatever order you like. This just makes a little more sense, and that's where a lot of our answer keys are going to have as well, or in the opposite order, so 6, -5, and then a squared. The assignment for this lesson here is F8.03, numbers 1 to 6.